There are videos and playlists of breakup music, but I don't really see very many for breakup books. So that's what I'm trying to put into the universe. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aylin, and today we're gonna get pretty personal while talking about books that helped me through my breakup. I feel like I've been pretty simultaneously private and open about my breakup. I don't want to divulge any details, and I also don't want to be disrespectful at all. That is not the goal. It's not doing me any favors, it's not doing them any favors. I want everybody to heal from this, but I also want to help you guys in case you might be going through something similar, or God forbid you go through something similar in the future, or maybe someone completely random is stumbling upon this video. I know that a lot of the videos that I was watching weren't really helping me, and everybody's situation is different, but I want to help anyone who may be in a similar situation as me. I texted my friends before making this video to just kind of get initial feedback and just kind of consulted them on if this was a good idea or not, and I told them that I didn't want to be disrespectful. While that is still true, a point that Stasia made that really resonated with me was you are allowed to take up as much space as you need to. In 2023, that is something I fully intend to do. And why wait? Why wait to give myself the space to fully be who I am and express myself? I'm not waiting until 2023 to be myself and to take up as much space as I need to. I'm going to start doing that now. If you're the heartbreaker in this situation, this is painful. No matter what type of situation you are in, breakups are very seldom easy, clean splits where you leave feeling nothing. It sucks. You will get through it, and these are some of the books that helped me get through mine. Also, just because I mention a book doesn't mean that this is the exact situation that happened. I want to put that disclaimer out there. There might just be elements that I took from that book, and it could be one line like really resonated with me, and that's all I got from it. Bear that in mind. Please don't make any assumptions. I'm going to do the best to tell you what I got from that book, what I took from that book. First one that I want to talk about is an audiobook that I don't physically have with me, like I don't have a physical copy of the book, and that is Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. I have brought up Matthew McConaughey's graduation speech from the University of Texas, Houston multiple times. I love that speech, and Green Lights just kind of expounds upon that, which I really loved. And this is a book that I will go back and reread because there is so much in it. This book gave me the comfort to trust my gut, realize that there are signs in life, whether you believe in God or the universe, astrology, like whatever it is, something out there could potentially be giving you a sign. And maybe you don't believe in all of that stuff, but maybe it makes this more comfortable for you to kind of fully commit to the decision that you are planning on making, thinking about making, or maybe it tells you that this is the decision that you don't want to make. I don't think that there is anything wrong in believing in something that gives people comfort. For me, signs and God like make me feel comfortable, and I'm absolutely not pressuring anybody into believing what I believe. I don't care, believe whatever you want. So long as you're not hurting one, I don't care. But that is what gives me peace, what makes me feel comfortable. Because again, I think that there are signs, and some of them are red flags. Some of them, like in Matthew McConaughey's book, are stoplights. And other times you get a green light. And this book not only made me comfortable with the decision that I was potentially thinking about making, it just made me more excited for my life. And I think when you're going through a breakup, that can be something that's really hard. I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but I think that that can be really hard for people, is imagining a life without this person that you were potentially planning on forever with. Imagining things to do without that person, that is so scary. But there were so many times in Matthew McConaughey's life where he got lucky, and obviously that does not happen to everyone. He is a very lucky, privileged person, and I'm not saying that once you read this book your life is going to end up exactly like his. Absolutely not. I'm not that naive. Maybe it could encourage you to take some risks on yourself. Believe in yourself, even if it's not the idea that everybody agrees with. Maybe this book will give you the permission to be who you really want to be, and potentially who you've been fighting to keep at bay because it's not widely accepted. That was like a concern I had when I was reading this book, and it kind of just put me at peace. Take up as much space as you need to. Nobody else is going to give you that space if you don't ask. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was incredible. Plus the audiobook for this is really amazing. And maybe you just like want to listen to Matthew McConaughey for 8 hours. He has the best voice. I don't care what anybody says. It's also just a solid read. No matter what you're going through, I think that everybody can gain something from this one. It doesn't have to be a breakup. For me, it just was. And I also want to say, if thing that's keeping you from making the best decision for you is fear of the unknown, it's scary and you have every right to feel that way. That emotion is completely valid, but isn't it scarier to think that you could be wasting your life if you don't make that decision? I'm not trying to scare anyone. That was just a thought that I had while reading this book and processing all of my emotions pre, during, and post everything. The next one, a little bit lighter, Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is one of my favorite series of all time. Hands down. This one helped me with escapism, but also the romance in here with Avery and a certain Hawthorne brother. I won't spoil it if you haven't gotten there. It brought me a lot of comfort. There's not as much to this one. I just wanted to mention it because it was something that I was reading, and honestly, it was just really, really solid escapism that I greatly needed, because I'm not kidding you guys when I say that this was something I was obsessing over to a very unhealthy amount for a long time. So to have something alleviate that pressure and make me think about something else even when I wasn't reading it was huge. And I can do a whole recommendation video on escapist books that fully transport you, but this was the one that I read during this time that really sat with me. I would like to clarify, I did not read all of these while this was happening. Some of them I read beforehand, and when sorting out my feelings, I reflected on these books. So the next one is The Resurrection of Wildflowers, Macaulay Smeltzer. I read this one a few months before everything happened. I read this one over the summer, but something that really stuck out to me about this book, and that I told myself I wanted, and then when it came to making my decision, it held great levity in that. Our main character in this is the second book in a duology, not to spoil it, settles down with someone, and very much settles. He's a good person, he's a great guy, they have a solid relationship, they are friends, but something's missing. And sometimes, as hard as you work to find that extra something, you just can't find it. And maybe that means you're not meant to be. But something else that I really appreciated about this book was that the main character was aware of that and not only made the decision for herself, but also was able to look at that partner and say, you deserve better than me. You deserve to feel all of these things, and while you might feel them with me, I don't feel them with you, and you should have those feelings reciprocated. Because that was another thought process that kind of crossed my mind was, I'm unhappy, this person could also be unhappy, and it is not fair of me to sit here and waste their time. And it's also not fair of me to be sitting here questioning them, questioning my life with them. They deserve to have someone who is all in just as much as they are. And I think that that was a really big driving force for me and made me feel better about not hurting them, because I never want to hurt them. That is the worst feeling in the world. Just taking space and saying, you deserve this. I want this for you just as much as I want it for me, and I think that that can be wholly true. Next we have poetry. There's a wide variety of books in this video. There's a little something for everyone. The poetry that really helped me out, Flower Crowns and Fearsome Things. And I didn't realize how helpful this book actually was until one of my close friends read it recently and was sending me pictures of all of the poems in here that really resonated with her and that she thought would resonate with my situation. Something I've been considering a lot is trying to figure out my love language, because I don't really know what it is or how I like to receive love, which makes it really hard for me to communicate in a relationship, because how am I supposed to tell you what I need when I don't even know? This is really personal. I want to be important and I want to feel important. I just don't know what it is that it would take to make me feel that way. Kind of gives you the air of self-importance in a confident, acceptable way. Not an air of self-importance, not in a privileged, pretentious way. You deserve everything that you want because you are a person and your feelings are valid, and if what you want is to be loved in a certain way, then that is what you should have. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved the way that you like being loved. So there were other things obviously in here that are just more personal and I don't feel comfortable talking about, but that is one of the biggest ones and something that I wanted to share in case somebody else needs to hear it. I would also like to say that if you are in a happy, healthy relationship, I am so happy for you. I am not trying to make anybody question anything at all. If you are happy, if you are healthy, if you are thriving, I am happy for you. I envy you. This is just to help people who are maybe hurting a little bit or maybe aren't sure. And maybe the questions that I pose in this, you know the answer to, and the answer is to stay with your partner. Maybe it's to communicate better and potentially work things out. But whatever it is, I just hope that in some capacity, this video is helpful. Last book, we have Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Rosemary Valero O'Connell and Mariko Tamaki. You guys, this is one of my favorite books that I've read all year. I'm not gonna cry. We're doing good. Come on, Aylin, get it together. Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This follows a toxic relationship, the cyclical nature of a toxic relationship, and not only how that affects the people that are in it, but also affects the people outside of that relationship that are trying to support the people in it. But at the end of the book, because it starts off with our main character, Freddie, writing a letter to this columnist who gives love advice. And not to spoil it, and I don't think that me saying this is spoiling it, I think that it's still 100% worth reading. Essentially, a piece of advice that the columnist gives Freddie is very often happens that people who are in love with each other break up. It's hard, it can be ugly, it definitely sucks, but sometimes part of loving a person is acknowledging the fact that this is not the healthiest form of love for them, or maybe it's not the healthiest form of love for you, and you need to let them go. Again, do what is best for you. Everybody deserves their very own happy ending and fairy tale. Sometimes you're the only person who's going to advocate for that because the other person might not see it that way. It's really hard to walk away from somebody that you love. If that's what's going to benefit both of you best, or even just you, it is worth it. You are worth it. Those are the 5 books that helped me through my breakup. There were quite a few more, but I wanted to limit it to 5 so that this video wouldn't be super long. I apologize if it came out preachy. I am trying to process this to the best of my ability, and like I said, I didn't see a lot of breakup videos from content creators that I watch at all, first of all, and second of all, that necessarily helped me through my situation. So I wanted to do that for other people, and like I have always said, my DMs are open. I understand not wanting to air out your dirty laundry in a comment. I fully understand and respect that. So if you need to talk to somebody, I am more than willing to listen, because sometimes you just need to say it to somebody else who's not going to judge you, who knows nothing about you, nothing about your relationship, and is going to root for you. Because I know that not everybody has a great sense of community. I am really, really blessed and fortunate in that I have had an amazing support system, and that has honestly made this all so much easier. But like I said, that's not the case for everybody, and it should be. You deserve that. You deserve to be happy. Anyway, I know that this video was emotional. I tried to not make it too preachy, but I definitely think that I did, so I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to, like I said, share the things that I've learned. But I love you all so much. I appreciate you all for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well reading, mentally, otherwise, and prioritizing yourself, because you are worth it and you deserve it. I love you all so much, and I really hope to see you all in my next video tomorrow. Bye, guys.